Hello and welcome to Mpishi. On today's menu, we are going to be making some chicken nuggets. So to make your chicken nuggets, you need your chicken. I used half breast, half thighs, and we're gonna chop that up, roughly into big cubes, and we are going to add that to our food processor. And to our food processor, we are going to add an onion. The whole thing will take one onion, and we're also going to add some Farmer's Choice sausages. This makes the chicken nuggets so good. So you can go without the sausage, you can just do the chicken plus the spices and the onions, but the sausages just take it to a whole new level. So cut up your sausages, remove the casing, don't put it in with the casing, it doesn't mix, or the casing gets stuck in the blade of the food processor and it's just an ugly job of trying to get that out. So take out the casing, then put your sausage in the food processor. To every batch I used about 5 sausages, some 2 chicken breasts, 2 chicken thighs, and this all depends on how big your food processor is or how much it can handle. This first round I put a little too much and it took a little too long to process. Also, I realized that the onions were not blending as good as I hoped. So for the second batch, we decided to blend the onions separately and add them already blended, because this took way too long. Of course, we're gonna speed up the process so it doesn't look as long, but in reality this took forever. Also, I was supposed to add 2 eggs to this and I completely forgot. Although they are right in front of me, I could not remember. So to our mix, we're gonna add a tablespoon of onion powder, tablespoon of tomato bouillon powder, and about 2 tablespoons of garlic powder. We love garlic around here, so we added more garlic. Also to that, we are going to add about a tablespoon of cornstarch. This was new, we hadn't opened it before, so it took a while. Well, not a while, about a minute. So we're gonna add a tablespoon of the cornstarch, and we are also going to add about 4 tablespoons to 5 of panko breadcrumbs. These are store-bought, but you can also make your own. Just get your bread, put some slices in the oven, let them dry up, and then blend them. It works just the same. Or you can put slices of bread just as is and it also works perfectly. So we're gonna cover our food processor and we are going to blend until everything is mixed together. Like I said, it took too long for the onions. As you can see them, they're still like floating up in there, so I had to push them down and blend again to make sure they all got incorporated. And this is why for the second batch we decided to blend the onions separately and add them to the mix while blended, because they took entirely like way too long. So just keep blending. If it's not mixing, open it up, push it down, mix it up, do what you need to do. Again, the onions there, they were giving me all kinds of problems, and finally I decided to just empty it, take out the big pieces of onion, we don't show you that, but and put them back into the second batch. So again, you're going to repeat the process. Get your chicken, slice it up big chunks, get your sausage, remove the casing, add it all to the food processor and blend, and just keep repeating that until all your meat and sausage is gone. So this is the second batch. This time around I remembered to add my egg. See, I remembered. Add your egg, 2 eggs per batch. We did 3 batches, and as you can see, we blended the onions separately so that they could incorporate easier. Repeat the same process. A tablespoon of cornstarch, about 4 tablespoons of the breadcrumbs, 2 tablespoons of the garlic powder, a tablespoon of the tomato bouillon, and a tablespoon of onion powder, and just blend. You can uncover, check on your meat, make sure everything is getting mixed up. If it's not, turn it around, push it down, do what you need to do to make sure everything is getting incorporated. Our food processor is quite old, so it doesn't work as good as it used to, and it took a while. It took a long time, but we did it. It all came together at the end of the day. So again, check on your meat, make sure you don't have big lumps. If you do, repeat, blend, 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 and then empty it onto the bowl. All right, second batch complete. We're gonna empty it into the bowl, and then we are gonna go to the final batch, and we are going to repeat the process again until everything is done. It's a pretty easy process because the whole entire work is done for you. So it's just cut up, throw in the food processor, and let it do the job for you. And also, chicken nuggets make for like great snacks for your kids, and also easy lunch packing for your kids for school. So it comes in handy. We make a whole lot, and it freezes really good. So we make it, we freeze it, and we have nuggets for whenever we need them or whenever the kids ask for them. And this is more healthy than going to the store to buy them, because you don't know what they put in there. When you make it yourself, you kind of know what you put in your stuff, and also it tastes 10 times better than if you bought it in the store, in my opinion. So cut up the rest of your meat, throw it in the food processor, and we are done. So go on with your eggs, I remembered. And then also switch your gloves in between your spices and your meats. Did that, but somehow it got edited out in the other 2 batches. Add the same spices. This was not a big batch, it was lesser than the other 2. So with the spices, we added just a tablespoon of everything, and again with the onion, finish up, blend it, clean up your surface while the last batch blends, because we are done with the whole blending process. I'm gonna mix everything up again, make sure everything is well incorporated. If it's not, put it back, run it back, and continue until everything is good to go. So at this point, we are completely done with the whole blending process, and we are gonna move on to the next step. So I went ahead and added the other 2 eggs into this mix, and we are going to mix everything together. Just knead it like you would a dough. Make sure everything gets incorporated. Again, I did add those 2 eggs that was left over that was supposed to go in the first batch but didn't. And okay, so here I thought I could put everything on the parchment paper and use a rolling pin, fold it over, use a rolling pin and flatten it, and then cut it up into squares. But I realized right quick that that was not gonna work because it stuck to the parchment paper. That method was not gonna work, so we started forming them by hand. So just grab a little bit, flatten it in between your palms, form the shape that you want. So it doesn't have to have any, you can do circles, squares, whatever. If you into it, if you have time, you can shape it into animals or whatever, anything, any way you want to do that. So just make sure the thickness is equal, not too thick, not too thin, not too big, not too small. I didn't want to do mine too small like at the store, because then we'll be here all day trying to get this done and I was over it already. So just, form them into whatever shape you want. And we had them about 2-inch thick, maybe 1.5 inches for thickness. And we're gonna continue doing this. Just cut up a little bit, flatten it in between the palms of your hands and form whatever shape that you want and put it to the side. So we did this until the whole space was occupied. So I'm gonna move over to go start frying while my sister continues to do the shapes. So just get a little bit, press it in between your hands, form some patties, whatever shape you want, and just put it to the side. This helps the process of frying go by faster. Also, you don't have to fry. If you're healthier than we are, you can put this in the oven. You can also freeze them as is and cook them as you need them, but I prefer to cook everything. And if we're freezing anything, we're gonna freeze them while they're already cooked, because then it's so much easier when you need them. You just throw them in the air fryer and boom, to the table, done. So again, just get some, form them in your hands, flatten them, squeeze them together, form a shape, any shape, don't matter what shape. At the end of the day, it's all gonna end up in the stomach. Just keep it about consistent though, with the sizes. Not that it matters, it's just for the in-house consumption. So whatever. So when we fill up the space, I'm gonna move over and start frying, and I'm gonna let my sister continue finishing the rest of them. So while you're doing this, make sure your oil is heating. So my oil was heating up in the back. Also to the side, you're gonna have your, what do you call it, your pan where you're gonna put them. You're gonna have a paper towel lined pan, and then on top of that you're gonna put your wire racks over it, because we're gonna rest them on top of the wire rack, but we also want them to drain any excess oil that it may have. It doesn't carry as much oil, but just have it under, just have a paper towel underneath it just to catch whatever may drip. So we're gonna add this to the oil and we are going to fry them. Do not overcrowd too much. It doesn't really stick to each other, but you also want them to have space to fry and move around. So just add as much as your vessel, whatever you're frying in, your pot, your wok, your fryer, whatever you're using, as much as it can handle. You can have more, you can have less. It's all depends on how big your vessel is. So if your heat is too much, turn it down. I realized at this point my heat was a little bit too high, so I turned it. You want to fry them on medium to high heat, because you want them to cook all the way to the inside. Because it's chicken, it sometimes carries a lot of E. coli, so you don't want to get sick. So you got to make sure everything fries and cooks all the way through to the inside. So continue moving them around, make sure everything fries evenly, and we're gonna do this until all the nuggets are done. I don't know what I was talking. Oh, we were talking about my toenails, my pedicure. The fact that I had bumped my toe into something and broke one corner, and then I put some super glue to hold it together because it wasn't time to go do my pedicure. So I had to make it do what it do until the next time I made it to the nail salon. So yeah, that's why we're pointing at my toes. And if you cook as a family, I mean, it's always that stories going on in the background about everything and nothing, basically. And that's why we voice over, because our kitchen is noisy. We have kids and adults, and we talk. We love to talk a lot. So continue frying your nuggets. And once they start cooking, they will start floating to the top. That's how you know they're starting to cook. They are almost ready to take out. So when you put them in, they sink to the bottoms. When they start cooking, they float up to the top. So you know they are cooking. Again, keep adjusting your heat accordingly if it's too slow, because when you fry them too slow, they tend to suck up a whole lot of oil. And when you do it too fast, then the top will be cooked, but the inside will not be cooked. So we're gonna fast it forward from here. It's pretty much monotony. It's the same thing over and over and over and over again. So when they reach the color that you want, you take them out and put in the next batch. I like mine golden brown, not too dark, not too light. And we're gonna put in the next batch. Again, we're gonna just push them around. While that happened, I was in the back there helping finish up forming the rest of them. Again, keep moving them, keep adjusting your heat. If it's too fast, turn it down. If it's too slow, turn it up. It's a game of you gotta keep an eye on it. Just use your judgment to figure it out. Again, when you put them in, they sink to the bottom. When they start cooking, they will float to the top. Keep moving them, keep adjusting your heat. I did that a lot, right? And I hate waiting. I like to do 2 things or 3 things at the same time in the kitchen. That way I'm not sitting there waiting. Because when you're watching things cook, it looks like it takes forever. But if you're doing something else and you come back to it, then go do something else, then come back to it, like it starts to move. Sometimes, when I'm standing there, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm just lost. I like to do, when I'm in the kitchen, I'm either, frying this and then go over there, wash that, then come back over here, turn them around, then go back over there, do something else, then come back over here. But when you're filming, you kind of have to be in it, doing it. So it kind of looks like it's taking forever. And patience is not something I own or have. So again, just keep turning them. Again, when you put them in, they sink. When they're about ready, they float to the surface, and that's how you know that your stuff is getting done and is cooking correctly. When your fire is too high, it's going to sink, and then the color will change, but they're still stuck in the bottom. So that way either your fire is too high and your nuggets are not cooked all the way to the inside, but once they float and they haven't changed color all the way, then you know that they are doing good. Chicken nuggets are like a fan favorite in my house, and they are loved by everybody, young and old. We really ate this. We thought we were gonna eat some and freeze some, but at the end of the day, we kind of ate all of them. We served ours with some coleslaw and lemon wedges and some chili sauce. Thank you so much for following us, for staying with us, for helping us grow. We appreciate you so much. Tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe and to join the family and to help us grow. Until next time, when we meet again on the next plate, keep it Mpishi. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Subscribe, follow, like, and share. Thank you. Bye.